Welcome back to Workers in Person, Soviet Traffic. Sorry, Workers and Resources, Soviet Republic. I've been growing tired of messing around with traffic all the time, so we should solve that with more traffic. My thinking was that now that we have a base of operations here, and we basically have some experience, what we can do is set up a new town somewhere else. And I was thinking before I look at the resources that one of them could either be a town that has the oil refinery in range, so they drive there from a different angle. And then we use a way to have a lot of cars being able to reach the oil refinery directly, and then maybe a longer detour to reach the parking lots back from the other side. The other option would be a self-contained another town that maybe has a steelworks, and that basically has similar capacity as the oil refinery. We might be able to pump up our population consumption up that way. Running a steel mill with cars seems ridiculous. It's the same amount of workers for the steel mill, but then you have the mines as well. So mines takes 250 for the iron one. The processing plant does not take that much. And then coal, of course, is another mine with its own processing plant. I think if the steel works out and is in a nice place, then that is maybe the one I would like to prefer, I guess. But we'll see. Where do we have coal? Okay. Well, I don't want to build anything over our existing stuff. But that is right on this highway. Iron down here. That seems like a plausible steel mill. South of town, actually. The other option would be up here. So the coal I'm looking at is right here. And this iron I'm looking at is right here. The other option is in this area with coal up here and iron up here. Other than that, nothing else jumps out at me right away, except this area down here. There's iron and coal on the same hill. That would be quite easy to set up. It's pretty neat, actually. The steel mill does not have to be close. It just has to be in range of the town, basically, and accessible by road, I guess, unless we put the steel mill on train traffic. I don't think I want to transport people with anything other than cars in this. And our one bus. Our one bus is fine. I should probably also unmute the game. There you go. Just noticed that the slider was all the way down. Sorry about that. Well, I should have not been muted, at least. Alternatively, south of our city, we also have coal here and the iron here. Yeah, south of our city looks good. Or the hill I'm on right now. Is that the hill I want to die on? I don't know. It would be close to the western border, actually. And there is a customs house with a rail connection here. We could start paying back our loan with steel exports to the west. Maybe I'll try that. I'll make another town in this area completely disconnected from our existing town. And we'll build something on the western border. With the town maybe being in this area, nested into these hills. And then we have roads coming through here into the mining area and coming back into town in a roundabout way. This will take a bit of planning, I think. Especially the town part. I will start with the industry though, since that is, I think, the more difficult one to set up. Until I get back to the town. Then the town will be the annoying thing to set up, but I digress. I think 1 mine each will be sufficient for us. They have a maximum output of 4 tons per workers times 250, so 1000 tons. Multiplied by the quality you get. So we have 1 mine here, which might be 50%-ish. Then I will mark these actually, because I can't place down anything yet. I don't have excavators or bulldozers on site. So I will put down naming plates. And the coal mine is actually not on the hill. Oh, it is. I scrolled too far. Coal mine right here. That seems to be quite a good deposit. We can probably deliver some coal to our existing town, so we don't have to import that anymore once we produce coal here. I think I'll produce coal on site. Have the coal mine feeding into a storage, and that storage feeding directly into coal ore processing, and then transport the coal from here by train to where it needs to go, rather than getting a line of conveyor belts. Okay, so coal mine here. The processing plants will be on the ground somewhere here. There will be a rail connection hooking both of these up. And the town area is here. And the town name we do get Padunin. Is that not the same we already have? No. Roveduma, right. Mormosk. So, we need to get some construction equipment on site. I think for that we will start with a longer road leading here. And I will follow the grid for this. I will build the town based on grid. On a grid system. I guess the town I could already start planning out, because it's flat enough, I guess. The town center will not be walkable. The road infrastructure is going to be... We have an exit road here, going across this hill. We have parking lots for people to work in the iron mine and the processing plant. Same for coal. They will all come out this way, and then they drive back into town, or vice versa, like counterclockwise maybe. Yeah, counterclockwise is fine, I think. So we have an exit here somewhere that leads into this area, I think. Up this hill. Preliminary planning. Parking lot does need to be close, but the road doesn't. So this road is pretty much going to loop around, have an exit into parking lots, and then it goes back here. And this will all be a one-way road. We don't need to double lane it. No traffic is supposed to go from here back. So we are going with the whole highway strategy, but we're only making one lane. And that will make it really easy to put connections off of it, I think. I guess we'll start with the town center. I need to put stuff in place, otherwise... Well, I need to put a few things in place, otherwise I will forget. Get another large shopping center here. Maybe I'll get a smaller one. Maybe a supermarket. I guess since we have a steel mill with 2 mines, I think we need a lot of people anyway. The inner loop was a good idea. especially for bringing supplies towards this. I could use a direct train connection and then do it with like, do the supplying with forklifts. If I wanted that. Could have a distribution office bring it here directly and then no vehicles. But I do like the external storage. No, I will use trains here, I think. Then I can just focus on road traffic. So we have a warehouse and a refrigerator. A freezer. The road connections only matter for construction. Do I even need a junction? A forklift garage has 3 connections anyway. And throughput should not be that high. Let's see. We need a warehouse. I really wish this tooltip would not be connected to the building, so I can see what I'm building, what I'm connecting to. Now, I can have the train directly go into this one, but I will need a train cargo station for this. And that means... Why are you not properly rotated? What's going on here? No, you are. I will need a cargo train station. And that means I will probably need more room for the warehouse. This is taking an awful lot of space inside the town area. I don't know if I want to do that. I think the truck idea is still better. I think having the trucks delivered to the shopping center and having the unloading platform a little bit further away was actually working really well. We'll stick with that. So that's our shopping center. Hospital. This time planned ahead with helipads. Sure. What else? Cinema? Probably. Could also have a TV station in here, so it's like our town that brings news to the masses. So I guess the inner city area will have a normal road connecting everything around it. There's not going to be any personal traffic into here allowed, and they will all have to walk. A pub can be on the outskirts between the residential buildings, I think. Maybe I should plan a train station in this already. Citizens platform. I haven't built metro stations either yet. Building a huge city with metro could be a thing. Why would I build a train station if I want to rely on cars? I don't know. Also, I should check the distance here. Let's see. That's a kilometer. We're within like 1.5 kilometers, which is probably going to be okay, depending on how the road gets placed. Of our cinema. make a fitness center, I guess. Is there enough room to walk through here? I think there is. I'll leave another space, it's fine. This can be the area for the heat exchanger and the other amenities that this area will need, electricity and so on. Water, sewage. I think I'll keep the water and sewage for later and align them more with the road network. This is the most uphill area, so everything is going to flow down from here. There's some water in this area, so I might be able to make a sewage pipe go along this road for a sewage discharge. It will probably produce its own water and maybe distribute it via technical service or just use running water. Yet to be decided. We'll need a school, we'll need a police station, we will not need a courthouse or a jail. We could relocate it in this area, I guess. The school, the kindergarten will go next to the residential buildings, they don't need to be in the center. The police station does, so it can reach everything pretty much evenly well. The roundabout is going to be counterclockwise. The exit entry is probably going to be here. I need to watch out so I leave enough room for road connections here. Delivery road. Heliport, that's a temporary road connection, there can be dirt. Same as that one. What else? So the pub will be in the residential area, it doesn't have to be in the towns. I guess it It usually isn't very populated. I don't know. Next to the heliports. It's already putting stuff quite close together, I guess. I'm also not leaving any room for footpaths. We have food, clothing, electronics, meat. We have culture. We have sport. Let's put some football fields next to the sports center. What else do we need? Police station. City Hall, technical service. maybe later. Is there anything else I'm missing? So maybe another attraction building? I think for the city center that is okay. No passenger traffic on this city center. And yes, it's going to be a grid again. Okay. This road is going to be run through, I think. Oh. Doesn't like that, does it? Nope. Alright. Get rid of the snapping point. I don't want this to hook up like that. Gotta turn the hospital around. Make the hospital connect to that road, and hopefully we still have enough room for the helipads. Can't build due to infrastructure, really? Oh, there's a dirt road. Right. Water and sewage will come in time. Now we'll try and build some residential blocks with a school. We have to be within walking distance, and the parking lot needs to be in range to reach both of these. So we'll probably start building one here towards this hill. Then have the parking lots here that they can access this road. And I think for the last time someone said maybe I should use the two-way parking lots. These ones are traffic optimized and these ones are not traffic optimized. I think these ones would be the better option for us, the non-traffic optimized ones, because of the higher capacity. The small ones only hold 10 cars, these hold 16. And they are much cheaper. We could also use the regular large ones. We'll see. If I use the one with a dedicated exit, then I can force them to take this road and not drive anywhere else. Let's get the measurement tool out. Highest corner here. It's not a lot of space. I definitely do not want them to drive into town. They should all walk. Heating plant, yeah, it's too warm, I know. So the housing blocks should be here. All the other buildings like a school could be here. Maybe this is actually the point where I should think about using a tram, but I will still get them to work with by car. So in the cities they drive with a tram and I can reach much further. But if they go to work or further away, I will have to make them take a car. That's probably what I will do. So we'll put some tram stations here and bring trams into the mix. Some tram stops here. All around basically, just so we have options. I think that'll be good enough. Maybe we can make more tram stops later on, but with 2 tram stops they should be able to reach everything. Since that is all in walking distance. And then we can make the residential area further away. And they can drive to town by tram and they can drive to work by car. The parking lot for the mines and the steel mill is gonna be ridiculous. I think the steel mill might be in a different location also. We could drive everything here and then ship it into a steel mill. Let me take a look at our initial town to see what traffic is up to. If I can find it, where all the construction signs are. Need to send workers here. Needs to be constructed. Same with the tunnel, probably. Alright. There's lots of cars trying to drive in here. The cars trying to get into the parking lots should have right of way, except of when they try to turn left here, then cars trying to leave do have priority before that. This parking lot area does have priority before that one. Seems okay-ish. I don't like that they're gridlocking here. Last time I said that, I gave priority to cars leaving, which seemed to work out much better. Can't do that on the roundabout though. But then they don't shove themselves in the way and the cars leaving can move away first. At least onto the road. Maybe that works better. Things are still constructing. Do I need a traffic light for the gas station exit? They're leaving really slowly. Okay. Well, I mean, the faster the cars get, and the more discrepancy we have between our old personal vehicles and the newer ones, the old ones will have a hard time getting onto that road. Is our rail construction office done? Seems like it. We'll shut it off for now. Get all the workers into the refinery. And focus more on planning. If we are using trams, then we can be pretty liberal with the placement here. Except for they still need access to get to a parking lot. And every building with a capacity of 340 workers, with the parking lot being 16 workers, basically. That would be more than 20 parking lots per building. 10 would be 160, times 2 would be 320. It would not be great. Tram stop for all of these. There could be more residential buildings in the future. This is just like 3 housing blocks is already 1,000 people, so if we get that up and running, and we pretty much have a functioning town, kinda. I should really try and make some pretty towns sometimes. And another roundabout, because why not? Then there would be a bunch of parking lots here. A huge amount. Only way for them to go would be along this road into the place to work. And come back, probably looping it past the town and into here. Maybe with a tunnel, instead of going across the hill. I don't know yet. Happiness low is not great. But I think that's just people living inside the village. We shouldn't have had a large population drop. Nope, everything is fine, we're still growing. Maybe not curving that many footpaths yet. So they all have access to the tram. The tram will need access to the town by just virtue of connecting into this loop. Then the tram can visit these in either direction. And we'll put an end station right after this point, basically. So we have an end station here, where they park until they're needed, and then they go out, pick up people, and that's it. And that way they would be coming along the right hand side, turning right and going across here and coming back down. That is at least the plan. To plan the end station we will need an excavator, because yes, a little bit of... well, maybe I can cheese it again. Maybe not. We'll plan the end station later. It might also be a bit further back, out of the way, maybe next to the parking lots. We need a tram depot, where we need to deliver trams to, which will probably be connected to the rail line, which is something we need to build all the way here. This rail line should have no problem getting over to this new town. It will also be responsible for resource deliveries. I think we should get the connection to the customs house up first. Maybe we should plan that first, because then we can let our rail construction office actually do things while we're planning. Let's see. Rail access above ground through here. Double tracked. And then that's a road design, I guess. Let's see. We need to go past Mosque to the left. Mosque is over there. I think I'll be left of the hill, go over this road, and then towards Padonin. And we need to go to Hellas, which is over here. Does not like that. There's something in the way. Maybe it's too long. build that without snapping. We can use the snapping tool here, that's fine. Let's redraw these. I don't think I'll plan ahead and build a waiting yard or anything yet. Just want to have the ability of trains going into here and just get loaded basically. Really? Okay. Slightly. Oh, I know what's up. I need to be here. So we have the ability for trains to come in on the right lane, go to this track, go straight, or go to the rightmost track. And this track can leave straight, this one can cross over, and this one can also cross over. That hooks all of them up. If we need a waiting platform, there's plenty of space to make it a small train yard here, but if we get this construction underway, we can do some exports to the western border basically and repay our loan. I should restart our rail construction office. Let's put it at 60 maximum. It will never get to maximum because the workers will balance themselves between the oil refinery and the rail construction office. Maybe I should move the rail construction office higher a little bit. It only draws a few people away, I guess. It's fine. Unlike with foreign workers where we could have filled up the whole building with our own people, that's fine. Need to put in some signals. Then all of this is signaled up. The whole rail track does not need signals for construction purposes. But what we do need is a way for the trains to change lanes, basically. I don't want this directly here, I think. They come in here, start constructing, and then they can't get out because it's missing. Need to change those signals again, or make a rail line temporarily that is extra, but I think changing the signals here temporarily is what will happen. I'll leave all the other signals in place until they can get to a point where they basically switch back, which is all the way to the rail construction office. For now. Once we have the switch in place, the diamond switch, I guess? I still haven't looked that up. We can put the signals back, but they have to construct that first. Oh, I guess they could just go here and then drive back. This was a two-way switch. That actually... that might be a clever solution. If we use this section of the rail for them to move in here and turn around to construct that, I might not even need to... oh yes, I still need these signals, but then they don't have to do a weird loop that they are currently doing somewhere here. On the left lane, they don't really need it. What are you trying to build? Why did you get onto this rail? Wait, what? You're trying to build that one. Yeah. I don't understand. Are we turning here now? Yeah, okay, sure. That train started driving before I changed the signals, so it's confused. You can go ahead and build. You're not gonna get in each other's way. Alright, that'll start the train track and also give us our connection points for the town and coal and everything else. We also kind of need a road to get excavators and construction material and everything here. The construction material will probably be delivered by train. So we have an offloading, unloading station for steel, bricks, prefabs and boards. An unloading station for gravel. Asphalt and concrete is going to be painful. We'll have to set that up. Or they just have to drive here, I guess. From our original town. We need a gas station if we set up a road. This is going to be something new, I guess. I would like some excavators here, that's for sure. If I followed the train track with a road, then that would be the simplest, I think. Gas stations aren't that difficult to build. We already have a road here. It leads all the way up here. And then we need to follow. Yeah, gravel is probably okay. That's 60 kilometers an hour versus 110, almost double speed. I guess we're gonna build asphalt, why not? Where am I going to make the connection yet? I don't know. But the road is basically going to come in here. And we'll upgrade the rest of the road. Now, we might be able to build everything in one go. Oh no, it doesn't allow you to do that. That's okay. But yeah, we'll upgrade this road. Allow faster access in general. And maybe later on we'll hook something up proper. Some way. Start using this road again. Redesign this junction to be a cloverleaf interchange. I'm not prepared. Let's put it that way. Assign workers here. Tunnel construction is ongoing, almost done here. That one also almost done. We'll have to reassign the middle one. That one will take a long time to dig. And then we'll see what happens to the traffic. This might have to become a traffic light intersection. I didn't expect many cars to go straight here without turning right. I should... Speed limit is still 50 for this area. So they should slow down and bunch up nicely. I also need to set these. What if I set a stop sign here? They all drive slightly forward and stop, or do they leave across in groups? Or maybe they all just ignore the stop sign. Oh, they're stopping here. Got it. No, that is definitely not a path you are allowed to take. Stop sign is slowing things down quite a lot. I guess things are moving, so we'll leave them be. Happiness is low. 30 happiness, 56 and 4. You were unable to visit the doctor. 26 and your lifespan is 37. Sounds like a problem. All the parked cars. There's a lot of visitors here. I should buy some more vehicles for all people. There might be people moving in that can't grab a car right now. So many cars. What else? You're full. You're full. You don't... Presumably you don't have access to... You have access to one parking lot here. Is it time for more parking lots? I think it is. Oh no, no, that way. I was concerned for a short bit there. The lag. Jumping all over the place.
Yeah, footpath. They will walk. They'll have to walk along the road to get into these. And this building is not inhabited anymore. I don't even know if they can walk through this parking lot. It might just be best to have a road leading here. Just for footpath access. We'll get the roads built, get the parking lots built, we'll fill them up. Provide some parking for these residences. These ones are quite low in population. Maybe they'll be fine. If they can drive into town. If these ones can, the other ones should also be able to. It's close. These parking lots will be accessible though. Yeah, they might be closer. Construction train stuck. Why? You are trying to drive through here and there's a train waiting because there's a train waiting here. And I have no idea how this train was allowed onto this. Okay, I do know. Forgot to change that one. Well, I guess you will have to be sent. No, you have to ignore red. Then this train can go and this one can leave. Ignore it. Why are you stopping anyway? Is there... Oh, I need to put signals here. There we go. Okay. Buildings on fire. Aggregate unloading. Coal and gravel for our people. So we need a storage for everything. We need a warehouse. We need freezer. We need aggregates. We need an open storage. We also need a heating plant. Heating plant strikes me as a thing with cars again. But they would balance themselves between the iron mine, coal mine, and the heating plant, which would mean that The heating plant would be really understaffed. Why hasn't the fire been extinguished yet? Guys, please put out this fire, thank you. I didn't expect the aggregate unloading platform to be on fire that much. Oh yeah, just drive in there, it's fine. Gotta make a scheduled delivery. Okay, it is being put out now. We just didn't have the right information of how many helicopters to send. At the very least, we want our export route to the west. I don't know if we can get functioning traffic in this place, but I believe we might be able to. If this is the road slash tunnel that will leave this area, we need to have like a tree structure, kind of, where we funnel all of the cars into the road itself. Maybe it needs to be 2 lanes. 2 lanes going that way. Maybe 1 lane is not enough. I messed up the elevation here by clicking, so now it all looks a little bit ugly. We'll build a construction office in this area. We can reuse the tram stop as a source for workers, but most materials will have to be brought by train, I think. Construction materials, at least. We'll need to unload directly into the storage for the reason that we know how much is in there. If it is connected by an engine transfer, then the distribution office would not know how much stuff is already present. Now we have storages for gravel and coal, and we can carry them out here as we see fit, or reuse them for asphalt and concrete production. That would hook up to the rail line. The storage for food will also be in this area, and there will be a bridge leading across the rail tracks, so with a distribution office, and the distribution office can just drive into the shopping center. Really wish that would hook up, but I guess it will not. I'll redo this road though. I don't think we placed a substation yet. We can put a substation here. I guess that doesn't want to work either. There we go. Very short roads. That looks terrible. Let's redo the electric substation and put them not on the grid, but freehand place them so the road looks a little bit better. The road into the shopping center should be the priority one. Maybe I'll flip the shopping center so the road is up here. No, it's fine. It's fine, we'll leave it like that. So we have a warehouse storage. The train can come off here. We have a separate rail track that then connects here again at some point. And all the storages will be accessible by a bridge, basically. We'll leave some room here. Also, we have a gravel field. I guess we could make gravel ourselves rather than carry it here. That might be a thing to do. Just we have it right next to the train track, so we can have some cars up here drive to gravel processing plants and make gravel for us. Maybe that's the first thing I should do rather than trying iron and coal and steel. Just make gravel and make it accessible for the rail track. Loading platform. The people living here would not be able to reach, I don't think. They might. Maybe it is actually in 2.5 kilometers range. Parking lot area. Oh, that's less than 1.5 kilometers. Okay, so gravel first then. Iron and coal mine later on. We'll get an aggregate loading platform. First up, let's get the rail tracks that I wanted. So we'll basically have two more rail tracks here, so we don't block the main line. They'll hook up somewhere here. Not sure yet. I'll go past all of this. And then in here we have the aggregate loading platform, where we will pick up our aggregates. Could just be off to the side. I guess it depends on where we produce. The quarried stone is not that difficult. That's just small facilities that work by excavator. We don't have to have any workers in there. Yes, workers can help. I don't even know how much they speed things up. But the main thing are these gravel processing facilities, which will need workers. They only need 15, and those we can just get by car. We'll probably build 2 of these. Parking lot area. Allow them to walk into these. We'll connect them to the same storage, I guess. Could also just... I don't need to connect them directly. I could also have them go through a conveyor first. A merging one. And then elevate that so we have access for roads and everything. That is not raised. Yes, it is. Okay. Hello, Luna. I would be ready for Valheim in, let's say, half an hour. I'll stream for about 2 hours, unless something happens. If the game crashes, then I might call it there, but yeah. Sounds good to me too. Thank you. And now that we have the conveyor engine transfer here, I can't do what I want because I need a second one, but no, this is just for collecting all the gravel that we have. And then more conveyors coming out of here. We'll follow the road, or the rail, I guess I should say. One of them would go over here to deliver gravel into this area. Do we need that still? Or should the unloading platform just feed into this tower? Because at the start for construction we will need to supply gravel here so everything works. But we can just move that into this area via this connection. I think. So we have a train aggregate unloading platform, I guess, in parallel here. Doesn't need to be drive-through. We still need that platform to deliver coal. But for gravel, it makes sense to just carry that up here. Now gravel and coal can go through the same connections, I think. But there might be a limit for capacity at some point. Still need to have some parking lots. One large parking lot would be enough for all of them, but I'll build 2, I guess. The extra workers could go into some of the quarries. Let's see. That is not a good connection for getting a road through here. That works. So these ones don't have an aggregate connection to get the quarried stone in, so we will have probably a storage here for quarried stone. Which will be used where the excavators will put the quarried stone in. They'll drop it off in here. I think they can unload really quickly, and then we have a loading gate hooked up to this. And I think we will have 2 of these, 1 per facility. So to unload they will have to go in here, and the trucks, there will be 2 trucks going from the storage to the aggregate processing plant, the gravel processing plant. 2 exactly, so I don't get any traffic issues, and the distance will be really short. So they can always keep the gravel fully supplied inside the aggregate processing plant. The parking lots might be done, maybe I should check on them. Let's see, we need truck aggregate loading gates. And those need to be hooked up by either engine transfers, or we need to turn this so it can be accessed directly. I initially turned it that way because I wanted the road to not interfere with anything else. Like, I would need to build it like this, or like this, which all felt strange, so I scheduled it to be built like this. This might be okay. And we have our storage site with road access where the excavators can dump their stuff. We have some mining trucks. And that can all be hooked up by dirt roads, because there's only going to be slow vehicles on these roads. Driving across here, there might be faster stuff, but there shouldn't be much traffic. The 2 route... Oh, I guess I found another issue. The gravel process... There will be traffic coming from here into these processing plants at all times, so this might become a high traffic area. I should change that. I don't think I can make a connection through here. Unfortunately, I need to move that again. I can move that inwards by 1. So we can have this traffic route running independently in the facility. And it doesn't interfere with traffic going this road. And they don't interfere with each other. Exactly what I wanted. This tower can be moved, but the other is just to move all of the gravel into a storage site. Now we have to change this one. One facility might even be enough, but having enough gravel is kind of important. Alright, now the other infrastructure gets in the way. That one can be moved, that's fine. That's just... Guess we gotta move the road too. Planning industry is way easier for me. All that Factoria experience, I guess. Than planning out living like a residential zone. Not sure how far away we can get the conveyor belt. Let's see. Looks like there is a limit here, and we're at it. And we still can move the unloading points to the right. Let's check our town. Been ignoring a lot of messages, been queuing up a bunch of parking lot constructions that they might want to utilize at some point. I'll have to assign some workers to the tunnel construction. It will be quite interesting how this will affect traffic, I think. this road is done. I'll bypass exit for the parked cars. This is a one-way road. And now people in here can bypass all of this, and if they want to go to the oil refinery, they can just take this route and drive along the western bypass. And it's a very short route, almost a kilometer less. This might help with traffic issues. And then we have this tunnel which connects to these parking lots, but maybe also to this bridge and then this leaving through here. I hope it doesn't do that, but we'll see. Okay, so this traffic here comes in, wants to turn left, while these cars want to turn right. It's not... These cars turning left have the right of way, but then they clog up the cars that are coming here. I guess we are going to try this as a priority road, so this area should be free of traffic. I will not try anything with a bypass road through here. We'll see if the signal fixes this. And this should be right of way straight through. Because the cars turning in can turn right, but if they want to go straight ahead, then they should do that. Alright. No parking lot done yet, but some workers already standing on top of them waiting for construction materials. Meat, food. You have access to parking lots. I don't know if we have enough cars in them. Maybe should get a few more. They're all already used. Come on, one of you has to leave. I need to buy a fourth one, so it's nice and even. Oh, whatever. No, I can't leave. It has to be done. I forgot which parking lot it was. It's fine. Guess we only have 3 modern cars in that one. Rail construction is ongoing. It's gonna take some time, a little bit, to get there. But yeah, that's rail construction. Once it is in place, we will have a reasonably quick access to the western customs house and also our new town area, city area. Alright, this was planned with trucks being able to get into here to dump materials. You will just cross over this road, that is fine. And then all the gravel, or the quarried stone rather, that is dug up is being driven into these storage sites, and our 2 large dump trucks can carry those back and forth between between the loading area, the loading facility and the gravel processing plant itself. Why do you not like that anymore? Okay. The facilities will provide the gravel into the system, wherever it needs to go. And we have an unloading platform for some extra gravel while we do construction. Hello, Precursor. Yes, choo-choo construction indeed. I'm not going to transport resources by cars. I still like my trains, so I have to use some of them. Get that all in place. We will not hook up anything to that line first. They should finish the route to the customs house before we do anything else. So an unloading platform, gravel storage for trains, and then a loading platform in this area where the trains come in and pick up tons and tons of gravel. And that should be directly connected to the storage site ideally, so the train knows how much is available. And then other facilities that need gravel, like our asphalt and concrete plant, can be hooked up from the other side via these via these connections with engine transfers. I did not like what it did to the train line here. Built it probably too close. At least it's above ground again. And that one can hook up into this access path, and hopefully it is long enough. We need 155 meters. That is not long enough. It is 155, but we don't have the option of putting in the crossing, so they can get back out into the correct lane. Alternatively, I can make a loop here, so they loop around and go back out this end. Sure, we'll do that. around here instead. That's not what I wanted. Too sharp of a turn, they say. Okay, that is too sharp. Got it. Let's see. I think we cannot make that happen. I would like this to be built a little bit further to the right, and then we just have easy access to it. This connection is quite good. I guess I also want a connection to the right side if I ever want to decide to export things. The loading facilities on the same side. The loading connections, I mean, are on the same side as the road connection. This will work. This is definitely enough range. So we have our loading platform where we can pick up gravel and bring it to the other town, where we already have the gravel storage hooked up to the train, because we use quite a lot of it. Tunnel construction is underway. Already did about 1,000, maybe 2,000 work days of work. Traffic over here looks okay. Traffic entering this area is maybe a little bit slow, because as soon as there are cars coming from here turning left and these cars coming in, this traffic will have to wait a long time. This traffic should be routed into this parking area from down here, pretty much. Not gonna change anything right now. Too much stuff. One parking lot is up. Let's buy a bunch of cars. I just bought 2 of them. But apparently there's a lot of people trying to get here to build stuff, so I can't buy any more right now. I'll have to wait. And this one will probably become occupied quickly as well. We'll get 16 cars for now. And I guess wait until this whole construction project is done. And maybe more people will move into here. Sewage tank overfilled, health risk. I guess the sewage trucks might have trouble getting here. What the hell is it? So we have some vehicles trying to go here. Going straight through should be priority. This one I don't know. So they're leaving these parking lots, but rather than go this way, they're going up here into this area. We will restrict that by saying no personal vehicles along this path. So they should just queue up on this lower road and go through the proper procedures. And then personal vehicles trying to get along the main road here will not have any intersecting traffic anymore. But that explains why sewage handling might have been a little bit suboptimal. Where is the sewage truck anyway? It's all in range. I haven't built the unloading platform yet for sewage. I should also queue that up. Is there one on its way? It doesn't say it has a assigned vehicle. So why are you not doing anything? Are we also running out of water? Are the trucks still full with sewage? No. They also have fuel. They are just deciding not to do anything. Hello, Liversum. I'm about to end the stream, but we have a serious issue. Our sewage trucks are deciding not to do anything. So they are in range of this sewage tank. Oh, got it. When I deleted all the footpaths here, I also deleted the sewage connection and the water connection. Maybe I should put those back. That is a good thing, I have heard. Allowing vehicles access to where they need to go is usually a good idea. Okay, so that is a temporary issue, but we found it. This tunnel will finish soon. We'll see what effect this has on all of this traffic. I think this might be a traffic light intersection. Three intervals. First to number 3, then 1 and then 2, I guess. No, 1 should go last. All of them have an interval of 20. Now the downside is that this could cause this traffic to lock up. If too many vehicles line up here and try to leave, then this could be a problem. Yeah, these parking lot areas are suboptimal. What are you waiting on? This construction? No. That one isn't even assigned. Sure, there's a train track here. This one? I didn't put signals at the end, I think. Did I? I thought I did. This is all signaled up. It's all one block, allowing trains to switch. Oh, there's a train right here blocking everything. I don't know why you got stuck, but now the traffic should be clear again soon, hopefully. Unless this train decides to take the same lane, but then it would have stopped already. I don't know how the train got onto this block and then had to wait. These are all chain signals, so it should never have been on that block. We will turn these ones into mixed signals, I think. We have two construction trains and they can both be on this side. Like we can have one train each on these lanes. That's fine. So I guess we're going to start with gravel processing and making that available for our nation. We'll need people here. I don't think we carry people via train from here to this area. Although it would be interesting having one passenger train. That could help provide gravel. Like provide workers and they will provide gravel. We do need a road connection here. Most of these roads will need to be upgraded to at least gravel. Once we have gravel, we can do that. We'll need electricity, water, sewage. Don't need heating for this for these facilities. And yeah, the quarries I can just place after. We don't need many of those. Fuel is going to be important. I need an unloading platform for liquids. So we can bring diesel, like fuel here, to refuel all of our vehicles. It's probably going to be in this area. I will put the... Okay, let me dot things that I plan out. So this is going to be gravel processing. Then we have coal unloading here somewhere. Then we have food and oil. We can also use the right side, it doesn't have to be all on this side. Especially for fuel, since we're going to use gas stations in this, I think fuel might be over here. And food. So... coal unloading. Fuel unloading and citizen goods unloading, which includes food and also frozen goods. So basically a relatively large train yard planned here, with potential for more. The coal unloading will go into a heating plant, which is going to be next to the train line and supplied by probably 2 parking lots, with people being able to drive there. It just needs to be in range for the parking lots for the residential area. But that still will take some time to actually get done. First up, we need a train line and maybe at least a road here so we can move in some construction vehicles. I mean, I could put down a free construction office with free roads. But I'm not in a hurry, really. I don't want to rush that right now. As soon as we start constructing all of that, it will take quite a lot of money. 3,000 workdays down. The tunnel is progressing nicely. These parking lots are as well. We'll just fill them up with cars, so as soon as some people move into this area and want to live here, they can take a car and go places. Traffic issue has been resolved. That is fine. Yeah, looks okay now. Anyway, I'm gonna put a cut in here. There was not a lot of traffic reworking. We still have this topic open. That is still a problem. Why is there so much traffic here? And why is it so slow? Because of this traffic light now. It's really the stupid traffic light now. I have to rework this. I have to think about that next time. This is a concern basically now. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. I wish you all a good Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday evening, wherever you are. And as always, maybe I'll see you next time.